Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's February 2nd, 2023, and I thought I'd give you a bit of a brief update on how things have been going. Thea and I have both been doing pretty well. We've been very, very busy, and the reason I'm making this video today is yesterday my brother posted a comment on the last video that we shot a couple of weeks ago that we're still alive because we haven't been posting videos regularly lately. Mainly because of the book selling project that we've got going on now. But Thea's took off a little while ago. We had breakfast and she took off to go visit with one of her closest friends, and then her friend, every other week they decide whether they're going there or coming here to spend some time together. The weather has been, well, it's been amazing. We're down several feet on the amount of snow that we normally get, so we just have a small amount out there. I've only had to run the snowblower a few times. We probably are down at least 4 feet, maybe 5 foot of snow, what we usually have by this time of year. We've got another Arctic blast coming through this evening with high winds, so we'll have wind chills down 20, possibly 30 below zero Fahrenheit. So that's a concern. I do want to make some some videos coming up, and some of the tools and equipment that we use all the time around here. Just that Thea and I have been completely, our time has been completely occupied by this book reselling project that we've been working on. So what can I say about that? So Thea and I have, and I don't know that I explained this very well, and I'm going to sit down here for a second. Hank and I are going to sit here. Because of all the books that we've had, and we have so many other, Hank, leave the camera alone. This is Hank, handsome boy. Doesn't get enough attention. So we've had so many of our medical and veterinary books that we've had for so many years, and so many of our reef keeping books. And one of the projects we've been working on is really trying to identify those things that we no longer need, that are just occupying space in our lives, and they could go on to potentially help someone else out. So that's how everything started, and we started over the last couple of years, like selling the motorcycle that I no longer drive or ride, and scuba gear, all of those sorts of things. And then early in the winter, we went through all of our closets. So I was much larger at one time, then thinner than what I am now. And so we had lots of brand new clothes still with tags on them, and shoes and boots and all sorts of things. And so we sent those off to Goodwill. And then when I was looking through some of our books, I could see some of them really had retained their value, being a few $100s a piece. And I also, for one of my hobbies over the years, was reef keeping. That's saltwater fish tanks with coral and that sort of thing. And so we have gradually sold some of those things, but we haven't really been selling much of it lately. But over the next couple of years, our goal is to try and find new homes for so many of the things that we have. And because the market was down, meaning that the value, what you can sell your shares for, is drastically reduced, and we had so many monthly bills and taxes, that sort of thing to deal with. I decided, well, let's go ahead and try selling some of these books, and they have been selling. We've only been doing it since the beginning of January, and today's February 2nd. And we started on Amazon as an Amazon reseller and all. And I was pretty much shocked by the number of people who are resellers out there, entrepreneurs. And so there's so many of these folks at all different ages, from teenagers and probably younger to people who are retired, that we meet in all of the thrift stores. So one of the things that we have been doing is going to like the Salvation Army and picking up some used books as well there and reselling them on Amazon. And now I'm starting to resell some of our books. So we have lots of medical books that are not appropriate for Amazon, but they will sell on eBay. Lots of collectors for some of our medical things. And then we have lots of medical supplies and tools and all that we'll get to over time. But during the winter months, since we're not in the gardens, not in the forest, not building roadways, not in the nursery, our time is completely occupied with those adventures. But during the wintertime, we thought we'd learn so much about this whole reselling business that people do. And quite honestly, I was pretty shocked by the number of people that you run into the thrift shops. And I never realized that that was a business that so many people are involved in. That's their, their other sources of income. And for many people, it's their whole business now. They don't even have other jobs. They don't work for companies or other businesses. They have their own businesses. So it's pretty fascinating. So that's one of the things we've been doing. On the floor behind me, let me just turn around here and see. So here's some of the books that, some of our veterinary and medical books here. Some of the books that really went quickly were, what were the ones that went the quickest? I'm just trying to think some of the ones that went the quickest. Certainly a lot of our permaculture and gardening books that we had, they're like brand new. They went very quickly for sale on Amazon. Now we're starting to sell some things on eBay, which is more involved. When we sell them on Amazon, we do fulfilled by Amazon, which means that we go through, we grade the books, see what their quality is, and see if there's something comparable being sold on Amazon. And if there is, then we use a listing program to print labels to cover up the UPC codes that are on the books. And then we box them up and we send them off to Amazon. They go to their fulfillment centers, then get divided up and go to the rest of their warehouses around the country. And then they get sold, and Amazon handles all of the selling and returns, any of those sorts of things. There is quite a fee to it as opposed to if you sell them on eBay, but it's kind of nice. So we had several cases, large boxes, between 30 pounds and say 47 pounds. Under 50 pounds you need to keep the boxes. So we sold several of those boxes, and I don't know, we probably have sold 50 or 60 books so far. And while we're doing that, we decided, well, let's check around and see some of the books in the thrift stores and all. And so we have gone and we scanned the books and all. So it looks like pretty soon we'll get to the point where we break even for all the boxes that we ordered, all the supplies, the printers, the scanners, all of those sorts of things. So it is an investment. People can start off at almost nothing. I had actually talked to my daughter and my granddaughters about this as a side hustle potentially and all, because now we see so many people doing it, and I don't think there's any places in the country where there aren't the resellers in there going in and picking up things, anything from buttons to pins to clothing, certain clothing. Shoes is a huge one, and then there's all of the antiquing and all of that sort of thing. So it's a pretty big opportunity for entrepreneurs or people looking for side hustles, that sort of thing. And we're novices at this point, Thea and I are, so we have a lot to learn yet. And so that's some of what we've been doing lately. I thought I'd make this video so you at least hear that we're still doing well. We're actually enjoying it. It's a lot of the times when we're on the property, Thea will be in one part of the property or I'll be on the other part of the property and working, doing road work or hugelkultur pits or working in the food forest, and Thea will be in the nursery or in the aviary or wherever else. So there's we're not always together, and we get to spend more time together when we're going on some of these thrifting adventures and all. So that's about it for today's video. I'm going to try and make some more videos soon, and if you're interested, I'll talk more about the book reselling business that we're involved in right now. And I'm going to try and do an update on the sweet potatoes, and I want to do some videos on some of the tools that we use around here in the farm and in the shop all the time, which are, geez, I think they're absolutely fantastic. I did make a couple of videos on some of those mini chainsaws, but there's lots of tools that we use all the time that I think people should at least hear my perspective on some of these pieces of equipment and why we use them. So that's it for today's video, folks. I hope you enjoy it. If you did, please give us a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and by all means, folks, take good care of yourselves. Stay warm. We got an Arctic blast coming through, and have a super fantastic day. Bye-bye now.